Welcome back. Final day of the series. This is day 4 in getting you ready for your homeschool and discussing language arts. So we got 2 things going on. 1, 2, 3. 1 is advice or idea or challenge to help get you ready for the next year. 2 is we are talking products I think will help you. Today we got some kitchen products I think will help you. How many kitchen products do I have? I got a couple kitchen products that will help you. And 3 is we are discussing a language arts system. Today I'm going to show you Elemental Phonics, what I like about it, what I don't like, and you can take a look at that. Okay, so first up, let's talk idea or challenge. Anything that you are not using in your homeschool for the next 3 months, 3-month periods, box it up. Box it up, move it to a different shelf if you are not using it. If it is curriculum, if it is school supplies, whatever it is, if you are not using it, get it out of your homeschool. Think of 3-month increments. What am I using for the next 3 months? If I am not using it, put it in a different shelf, put it in a different room, put it under your bed, put it in a bin, put it in the basement, put it somewhere where you'll still be able to see it when those 3 months are up or when you're like, you know what, time to start the new thing. But this is why. So when it comes to anxiety and reducing anxiety, I am like queen. You can't even imagine the issues I used to have. So one of the things I learned is that the more stuff you have in your environment, the more anxiety unconsciously it will create in your mind. So even though you may not consciously be looking at this stuff, your mind is still cataloging it and thinking about it and notes it and sees it. And every item you have in your house in general, every item you have, your mind unconsciously is like, you gotta fix this, you gotta repair it, you gotta keep track of it, you have to, clean it, you have to move it and just pick it up again. So there's so many different factors that go into items that when it comes to your homeschool, if you are not using it within the next 3 months, like in 3-month increments, so I would encourage you to box it up and put it away. Box it up and put it away. Label all the boxes so they're easy to find so you can go in. If ideally you would have a shelf in another room that you can go through and scan the curriculum, because I'm sure we all have too much curriculum. I can't be the only one that has excess curriculum. So to do that and consider doing that. When it comes to reducing stuff in your house, which I highly recommend, if you do not love it and you are not using it, out it goes. If you do not love it and you are not using it, box it up and put it somewhere else. If you do not love it and you are not using it, box it up and put it somewhere else. For kids' toys, they will play a lot better if they only have 6 to 8 toys, studies show. They will play a lot more effectively because the same thing happens to them. So they will play a lot longer, they will play more in depth if they only have 6 to 8 toys that they are looking at. So box it up and put it away. Box it up. I'm not saying you have to get rid of stuff. Ideally, yes, you'd get rid of it, you donate it, but just box it up. Box it up. See if you notice it. You might not even notice that it's gone. Anything you look at that has memories that makes you feel sad, box it up. I get it. You feel bad. You don't want to give that away. I get that. That's a whole other video. I get that because I have not solved that problem either. But what I do know is you box it up. You box it up and put it somewhere, and just so that it is out of your immediate viewing area. Keep only things that you use or that you love. That's it in your area. That is my opinion, my suggestion, my help for today to get you ready for the next school year. You can go room by room and just look at your room and say, what do I love? What do I love in this room? And start throwing it in a pile. Everything you love, throw it in a pile. Everything you use, throw it in a pile. And whatever's left, out it goes. Or go into a room with a garbage bag and start throwing out garbage. Start there. If you are overwhelmed by a drawer, just go in and the first thing you do is throw out garbage. Throw it out. Throw it out. If you can replace it for under $20 in 24 hours or less, if you are debating, don't debate anymore. Out it goes. Out it goes. Give it to someone who would use it and would appreciate it and who would fall in love with it before it ruins. Things were not meant to be kept forever. Some things are kept for generations before they're tossed out. Some things are kept for days. It doesn't matter, but things were not meant to be kept forever. All right, that is my diatribe for today. Next up, let me talk to you some items. Okay, I'm gonna talk to you about the Vitamix. If you have not heard of the Vitamix, I'm sure you have. Who hasn't heard of the Vitamix? It is insanely expensive. I do not buy insanely expensive stuff. I don't. I got 2 things that are insanely expensive to me. That would be the Vitamix, and that would be my vitamin D machine, which was $400, and it's FDA proven to increase vitamin D. So those are the only two really expensive things I think that I own. I can't think of materialistic things that I own more than that. I guess a laptop. Okay, so, and to be honest, I think I could replace the laptop cheaper than the Vitamix. The Vitamix is like $700 and it came with a warranty for like 10 years. So I'm not showing you mine right now because it's getting repaired, because I had to understand, I used it every day for 7 years, and the only thing that broke it was that I brought it overseas and used it. That's what, and it didn't even break it. It just stopped this one function from working. But essentially, I have tried different types of blenders to make my kids smoothies, healthy smoothies, to help them with their issues and to keep them healthy and fit and to make it so that it tastes good. And I have used it in other blenders and I can't. I've tried it when I went home to my dad's. He's got, good blenders. And it's not a Vitamix. A Vitamix is extremely loud when you turn it on. It's louder than a vacuum, but it works and it's effective and it makes it into an actual smoothie. It also makes ice cream. So we take a bunch of frozen bananas, we've done it for years, and it comes with a tool, and we make ice cream just with the frozen bananas. And the kids love it. I don't like it. I think it's got a weird aftertaste, but I don't like bananas that much. But they all love it. My husband loves it. So they would eat a ton of that ice cream. And another thing it does is it does soups. It makes a soup. You can make a soup in it. So it has a lot of fun, amazing features. And the other thing it does is celery juice. Maybe no one else is on to, or has followed Medical Medium on the celery juice thing. I have, because I needed to change my life. I needed to improve my life. And that's one of the things that I used to do it, was my Vitamix blender and the celery juice, making celery juice in it. You chop up celery, you put it in, you blend it, you strain it, and then you drink it. Okay, and I'm not gonna get into celery juice and the benefits of it. It's one of those things where you have to try it for yourself and see after 5 days, like I noticed a distinct improvement in my health, but it's up to everyone to try this. I'm not trying to sell you on anything here per se, and I don't make money selling you this stuff, like I don't. Like for example, on Amazon, I have sold you all 22 items and made $8. 22 items, one of which, a couple of them were printers, and $22, people, $22. So when I tell you about this stuff, I'm not raking in the profits here, okay? I'm doing it because it honestly helped me and it improved my life, so I'm sharing it with you because take it or leave it, some of it may help you. Another thing I have, which is the opposite of $700, is $1. Look at this little funny fellow. I'm hoping I can find the video where I've used it, but essentially this scrapes off on marble, on wood, on tile, on Teflon without scraping it. You can scrape off any food you can't get off, anything. Sauces that have landed in, you know what I mean? Like landed on your counters, things that you spray and still won't come off. Sweet potatoes, oh my goodness, nothing hardens like a sweet potato, I tell you. Eggs on your dishes, whatever it is, this sucker will scrape it off and it's $2 and it doesn't damage anything. It has not damaged anything. I have used it on, like I said, marble. We have marble countertops. We have marble floors. I think we have granite countertops. I can't tell the difference, but the floors are marble, the floors are tile, and the dining room table is wood. And I have used this on all of them. And it has worked. It has gotten the food up without a problem, like, done. Okay, so it's another thing I highly recommend. I also highly recommend if you cut a lot of vegetables, if you cut meats, I've noticed you can use like a stainless steel, like a KitchenAid knife, really good knives, that's fine. If you cut a lot of vegetables, I feel like you're dealing with a whole different beast. Like, oh my gosh. And the only thing that I find that cuts it is a ceramic knife. A ceramic knife is like translucent, so you can see through it. And it's glass, essentially, is what you're using, but it is extremely effective in cutting through difficult vegetables, like cutting through celery and cutting it fast, tomatoes really fast. So if you do a lot of vegetable prep, I highly recommend a ceramic knife. They're the only knives I use now. I've fallen in love with them. They are not that expensive. Now, because they are glass, you have to be careful with them. I put a towel down to cut no matter what I'm using. If I'm using a stainless steel knife, because I didn't like that noise on the cutting boards that, I don't know, it bothered my ears, that big loud noise. But now I do it just to protect the blade, because the blade will break if you're not careful. So using that, but again, mine hasn't broken in however long, and I do two things. You're also not supposed to put it in the dishwasher, but FYI, guess who puts it in the dishwasher? I do. I top shelf dishwasher it periodically just to make sure the steam gets everything off that maybe me just washing with soap and water doesn't. So anyway, those are my three things. But let's talk about Elemental Phonics. Let's wrap up this series. I hope you had fun this series. I hope you enjoyed it. My question today is, So let's talk Elemental Phonics. What do I think of Elemental Phonics? I'm gonna show it to you because I bought everything because they are extremely well priced and I like them. I did notice one flaw, just one. But for me, that's all it took was this big one because it's this problem I have. So I will show you. Okay, so take a look. This is the preschool literacy. So preschool literacy, this book I think is great, $10. Circle A and A. Now again, you can get this stuff off Pinterest. You can get, you know what I mean? Like the finding different pictures that start at the top, start with the letter at the top, alligator, scissors. And I like how they're so different that it's not that you can get them confused. So yeah, we've already worked on this page and then we're creative like that. Okay, so now that you've seen through this book, goes through all the different letters. I think it's a great book for $10. This is their phonics program. So I really like it because of the simplicity of it. My only complaint is that they don't have pictures to go with the sounds, and I need that. I need it to teach that. I know, it's my issue. So if I could get some like alphabet cards that had the pictures on it, or sound cards, like I've showed them in a different video, like these are Becca's ones, but anyone, because it's $10 a book and I think that's great. And look, it progresses up and up into more sounds. And so you're following with your hand, and then at the end you get to check the box. So I just think it's awesome the way this is. Okay, then this is the second level. So beginning sounds. Jim had a blast, Pat's cut bled, a wax blob fell. So again, I think it's great. I would have liked if there's a little bit of color in this one, like the last one, just to make it, help it for kids to stick out, but that's just personal preference. Again, $10 a book to teach reading. I just think I think it's a good program. I don't know if it's the only thing you can use, but that would depend on you. So long and short vowels. Now understand too that I have these issues because I also didn't learn to read till I was older, and now I'm a voracious reader. I mean, I read books and 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 books. I am just, that's my thing. I love reading. But I didn't read till I was older. So some of these issues I have where, hey, I need color, I need to see the sounds, I need to see a picture of the sound, could be because of that. And that's the last book, is level 3. So basic phonics lessons to begin reading. So there you go. I hope that helped, and I hope you enjoyed this series. I hope you liked it.
Please like and subscribe.
Yes.
And hit the bell for notifications.